thank everybody for coming today. This is pretty much a exciting day for me. It's an exciting day for Grambling State University. It's an exciting time for our athletes, our football players. I think they've touched people's hearts. They've made people aware of things at the university here that we need, and I'm just glad to be a representative of the University, Grambling State University.
What's the past week been like for you?
Sleepless. I've had most of the time, worried about the kids, making sure that hoping that everything turns out right for them, making sure that the university was concerned about their concerns, and I wanted to make sure that that I stayed in contact with them, and that they know that they're on a large stage now, and their concerns are being heard.
How good did it feel to get on that practice field last night?
It felt great. They came out, they were energetic, they were ready to play. They're in better condition than I thought they would be after 5 days. They came out and they made sure that that the world knows that, hey, they're ready to play football now. They're going to do what they got to do in order to win the game this weekend, and we'll be ready.
How good would a win feel after this past week on Saturday?
Oh, it'll feel great. This is the time right now when all eyes are on you to win a football game. It would be the greatest thing, probably one of the greatest things that ever happened here at Grambling State University.
What was the thought process like for you in taking the interim job?
Well, I thought the one reason why I did take the interim job, it was because of the kids. I always think of the kids because they're the reason that we do have jobs as coaches. If they wasn't playing, then most of us wouldn't have a job.
Coach, is there one thing that you think that you're going to do different while you're interim coach than Ragsdale or Doug did while they were coaching?
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do pretty much what I've done in the past. We will do some things a little differently. Offensively, we'll do some things a little differently. Defensively, and we do things a little differently defensively, I know, every week. And we just don't want to show a lot of stuff right now. But we will do some things a little different. We're going to make the game exciting. Saturday, our kids are excited, and we're gonna do okay.
What can you tell us about Texas Southern? Offensively, most of all, I guess, because you're a defensive coach. First of all, what can you tell us about them that you're going to face this week?
Well, one thing we're going to do, we're going to have to stop their quarterback. The quarterback is a very elusive quarterback. He's a scrambler. We're going to have to make sure that we keep him within the pocket. He's more dangerous when he's running. Making plays with his feet. And that's the thing that we're going to have to concentrate on to make sure that we're pretty much aware, keep our players aware of the situation with him running the football and making big plays on us.
That's been a problem for us all season, too, with mobile quarterbacks like that.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is we've been on the field a lot, in the past, and, hopefully we're not on the field a lot this week. And, because our depth we have a problem with depth, and that's the situation right now.
After everything that happened in the past week, what do you expect the crowd to be like on Saturday?
Well, I expect the crowd to come out, and it's high school day. We expect the crowd to be large. A lot of high schools going to come. I think everybody want to see how the players are going to react after the situation that happened. I think the players will come out and react just. I think they'll come out better. I really do. I think they'll come out excited to play and want to show the people that they ready to play football.
Coach, Texas Southern is giving up an average of 212 rushing yards a game. Do you see yourself just pounding the rock the whole game against them?
You know what? We're gonna play it by ear. We're gonna take whatever they give us. We're gonna take it bit by bit. we're gonna take whatever they give us, and we're gonna try to score the football.
Do you have any roster changes planned? You said you were gonna make some lineup.
We don't have any roster changes. We got the same young men that we had before we left. We're just gonna probably do a few more things with them.
Coach, the defensive line only had 5 sacks all year. Do you think depth is one of the reasons that they've had trouble getting pressure with the whole front seven?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's depth that we, the reason that we, we're tired a lot of times, and it's hard, especially when they get a drive going, and when you're in a play, then you're out of play, and then you're right back in the play. It's hard on guys weighing over 300 pounds. They constantly go in and play defense, and but we don't. One thing I tell my guys, we don't use excuses, Excuses are for quitters. We're not quitters, and we're not going to use any excuse of why we're not doing this and why we're not doing this. We're going to play hard as we can and do what we can while we're in there.
How do you think the players have reacted to you taking over as interim?
Well, they acted pretty good yesterday when they came back, and I think they were the ones that designated who they wanted to coach them.
It sounds strange, I guess, but actually your defense has improved from week to week. I mean, people look at the number of points that you've given up, but you've seen improvement in them from week to week throughout the season.
Well, a lot of people don't realize a lot of times we've held teams to our goal, which is 17 points or less, and then all of a sudden, things go the opposite way because of the fact we come in and we get the ball on the 5-yard line, and you have to do things a little different when you get into the red zone and in the goal line area. You have to do things. You have to take a few more chances that you wouldn't take if you were out in the middle of the field.
How do you think this whole ordeal might be able to spark the team in these last remaining games?
I think there are games that we can win. I think that we could get on a good winning streak right here. I think the fact that the 4 teams that we have left on the schedule, and we have 2 games at home for one. That's going to help too. Having the first 2 games at home is going to help us with our enthusiasm and with with what we want to get accomplished in this season. We want to try to win all 4 of these last games and make sure that we start the season. And I don't want to look that far ahead. Next year, you always want to end on a winning note.
Coach, this Saturday is high school day. How do you think this whole ordeal will affect future recruiting?
You know what? I think it opened the eyes of recruits around the world. Should I say around the United States, that we want to be able to recruit nationally always. And Grambling State has always recruited nationally, and we want to continue to make sure that they know that, hey, we now possibly, and we will have the facilities that you're looking to come to. We're going to have a great staff to come to, and people that care about you.
Is this an audition for you in a sense, with these last 4 games to try to get the permanent job next year?
Well, my goal is to just win football games, and I want to win any time I step on the football field. We want to try to win. Our team want to try to win these last 4 football games just for them, and we want to win. Period. It's not an audition for anything. It's if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't.
The team seemed like they were pretty fired up yesterday. What did you notice? Was it anything different, or is that how they normally act? It just seemed like they were kind of just really eager to get out there and finally get in the practice field.
Well, I think they were eager to get out on the practice field and play football again. That's the one thing. And like I say, I was thinking that, well, maybe we need to run them a little more, but hey, those 5 days that they were away, they must have been conditioning themselves, because they came back and they ran what we asked them to run, and they still had a lot left.
Coach, I've seen pictures on Facebook. Is it true that muscle milk donated to Grambling? I seen like thousands.
You know what? I have no clue. I really don't know. you know, all that stuff is hearsay, you know, hearsay for me kind of go over my head. I don't listen to it.
In a way, is last week them not practicing, you're not playing, kind of like a bye week? I know they didn't really get much time on the field, but do you kind of treat it like that because y'all don't have a bye week this year?
Exactly. That's kind of the way we treated it, you know, as a bye week because, you know, now we got to get back to playing football, you know, so we got to get everything organized again this week and move forward.
Do you have any updates on injuries? I know Skinner was kind of banged up before. What's his status? Some of the linemen?
Well, I think it's day to day. We just got to make sure we check with our trainers and find out. I know he's been to the doctor. He's had X-rays, and I think it's a day-to-day thing.
You talking about his rib or his shoulder?
Shoulder.
Okay.
Coach, I know you said the offense put the defense in some tough situations this year. On paper, they only average 13 points a game. What will you do different to bring the number up?
We're not gonna do a whole lot of things different. I think you know, our offensive coordinator and his team will come up with a good game plan for you know, our high school day, and you know, I think they'll make it exciting for young kids to watch football again.
How would you characterize yourself as a head coach in terms of like what your coaching style, you know, your leadership style, things like that?
Well, probably I would say my coaching style is more of pretty much laid back. I get excited about certain things, and I'm not gonna pretty much stay. I'm pretty much gonna stay level, and because I'm always thinking 2 or 3 plays ahead. I know defensively, and I'm always seeing where we can be. Because you know, checking with Jonathan a few times, I want to know what his range is when he's gonna, where he'd be able to get, where he can kick the football. Should we punt it from here or whatever? You know, I'm always thinking like that. What would it take for us to get a field goal? What's your range? You know, where do you want to start at? And he told me, well, if I'm here on this, I can get it through. So, you know, it's just things like that.
Coach Rags is a little more fiery. So, I mean, players, do they want someone like you that's more laid back and not kind of in their face mentality, or what?
I'm not sure. I'm just not that type of, you know, to me, a lot of times when you get in a young man's face, it takes away from, you know, from him playing hard, you know. And you can't always, people are different. You got to know who you can get in somebody's face. You got to know who not to get in somebody's face. You know, certain people need a pat on the back, and some need a kick in the butt. You know, and that's the way it is.
Coach Rags mentioned last week, y'all obviously didn't play, but he was going to make some lineup changes, notably at the wide receiver position. Where do you stand on some of those changes, like with the wide receivers especially?
Well, we're going to do what we're going to do this weekend, and I don't know about any changes. But we have an offensive game plan we're going to put together, and we're going to stick to it.
Coach, Grambling leads the SWAT in penalties. We have 68, so we're averaging maybe 9 a game or something like that. Well, my math is off. But do you think this week off will make that number go up because they haven't, you know, been out on the field practicing and stuff like that?
Well, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on penalties. We're going to work on a little more discipline, you know, and I don't think we'll make the same mistakes that we've made. I think we'll, you know, we're going to work a lot harder. I know this week on not having penalties.